Shalom, shalom, shalom. Quick morning lesson right before captivity. I like to start off this lesson by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Alright, so let's get straight into it. It reads here, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy power will set thee on high above all nations on the earth, above all nations of the earth. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai thy power. Okay? So again, that's the action and the reaction. If you obey, the blessings will overtake you. Okay? Again, the Lord judges every man according to their actions. Okay? And the Lord can judge a nation as well if he wants. Okay? But again, the Lord is a power of righteous judgment, okay, as it says. Psalms 89 and 14. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Alright, so the Lord is a perfect judge. Okay, there is no authority above the highest, and there's no wiser above the highest. Okay, so it says here, Job 8 and 3 to the point. Doth the Most High pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? That's a question. Okay, that's a question. Because again, we understand that he won't. The Lord is the power of justice. The Lord is in an upright power. Okay, you see, he will not pervert judgment. Everything that comes upon you, it's either you deserve it, or it's because the Lord wants you to go from glory to glory. Okay, cleave unto him. Whatever reason he puts you through situations or adversity, there's a reason behind it. It's not just because, there's always a reason behind. Okay, there's an action that will cause a reaction. You see? Okay, so you go to Job. It says here, Job 34 and 10. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from the Most High that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. Okay? But it says that the Lord create good and create evil. Okay? All these things were created for him. He's the power of balance. Okay? Righteous balance. Okay? As it says, can we receive good and not evil from the Lord? Okay? You see? So again, that's the understanding that you have to know, man. Okay, the Lord is a terrible power a dreadful power to fall upon, man. Okay, it's a dreadful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. You see? Okay. For the work of a man shall he render unto him. For the work of a man shall he render unto him, and cause every man to find according to his way, according to his way, your way, your actions, your mindset. Okay, you see, that's what leads you to situations that you're in according to the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Sometimes it might not be according to some things you can't help, some things are just out of your control, but again, everything is the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, Yeah, surely the Most High will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. All right, and that's what we have to understand. So when the action causes the reaction, there's a reason behind it. Okay, and the Lord, there is no iniquity in the Lord's judgment. Okay, the ways of the Lord are higher than our way. Okay, you can't just look, especially let's take Yahweh Shai for example. Okay, dying on the cross was an extreme situation. Okay, he prayed that he could avoid it, but the will of Yahweh was that he go through it so that he can obtain the glory. Okay, yes, some people, the carnal mind, will just think about the pain. Okay, they won't see beyond the results of what that situation will lead them to. Okay, for Yahweh Shai, that led him to obtain not only salvation for the elect, but also gave him the possibility to sit at the right hand of the Most High, to have a name that is above all names. Okay, you see, that was the results of the suffering that he had to endure, just to prove again that the Most High knows what he's doing things. Okay, he understands his ways are better than our ways. Okay, he sees a mile again. He declares the end before the beginning, so he knows why he makes us go through some certain afflictions. And that is why, as it says in Job, even if the Lord hurts me, okay, I will still maintain my trust in him. Even if the Lord puts me down, casts me down, I will still remain my trust in him, because again, the end of Job was better than his beginning. Okay, so yes, he went through hell at one point, but it was temporary. Okay, the hell that we're catching is temporary. All right, okay, but again, that's just to bring it back to the point that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai knows what he's doing when he's making us go through these afflictions. Okay, but now you have to understand too, as it says, we suffer because of our iniquity. Okay, our sins have pushed away these good things from us, as it says, like I just read in the beginning. If you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, if you obey Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the blessings will overtake you. But if you do the contrary, it says what? It says here in Deuteronomy 28:15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, so you disobey, the curse will come upon you. You obey, the blessings will come upon you. Okay, you see, so again, according to your ways will the Lord judge you. Okay, so that's why you have to pray unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to give you a righteous spirit, to follow after his commandments, to obey his voice. Okay, you see. It says here in Deuteronomy 30:15, it says here, see, I have set before thee this day life and death, good and evil. In that I command thee this day to walk, this day to love the Most High, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power, to walk in his ways and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power says, what the hell? What's up with this shit? We're gonna ring for 10 minutes? Anyways, it says here, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall draw away and worship other powers, and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over Jordan to go and possess it. Okay? I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Okay? That thou mayest love the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai swore unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and Jacob, to give them. All right. So again, we were giving strict commandments. Okay, and there were a stipulation in the contract. You do good, good will follow you. You do evil, evil shall follow you. Okay, and the reason why we're in the state today, in this modern day captivity under the Edomites, okay, is because of our disobedience. Okay, you see. But as it says, in the land of our captivity, we shall remember ourselves, acknowledge our sins, and turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this is the beginning of the downfall of this wicked kingdom, man. Okay, from us turning back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, waking up to this true knowledge, that's the action, okay, which will cause the reaction, which will lead onto the downfall of this kingdom pertaining to the prophecies. Okay, you see. So again, and even as I mentioned, Esau, Edom, and these other nations, they're not blameless as well. We went off, they went off, but we're gonna be forgiven for our transgressions. All right, and ultimately, when Yahushua returns, the elect and the great multitude will be changed, and once they return, they will establish heaven on earth. But it really starts with us turning back to the Lord and repenting, forsaking our ways and being transformed and renewed in our mind according to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, so we may do the things that are pleasing unto him, and that we may obtain mercy in the time of wrath. Okay, so again, put that in your mind. Okay, keep that in mind. For every action there's a reaction. Okay, so you better choose the righteous action so that you can expect a righteous reward, so that you can expect a righteous reward, man. All right, so Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Until next time, shalom.